Okay, we are good to go. Let me know if you have any questions in the chat. Other than that, I'm gonna be working on some mastering today. So we'll see how long that takes, and if that takes less than an hour, I'll maybe do some basses, make some basses on an operator, something like that. Uh, so with mastering, I'm gonna be taking a look at my track. If you saw my last stream, I was doing an intensive mix down, last couple streams actually. So I'm just gonna take another listen since it's been a couple days, and then I'll port it out to a mastering plugin and see what I can do with that.
Mental energy. There are spurts of mental energy. There are spurts of mental. There are spurts of mental energy as well as physical. And at other times, nothing seems to be happening. Mental, physical. There are spurts of mental energy as well as physical. And at other times, nothing seems to be happening. Mental, physical.
I'm a motherfucking ninja. I'm a motherfucking ninja.
He must have skill in both physical and mental activities. He's usually slightly bigger or stronger than the average, and has a friendly attitude, an outgoing personality. This is a common method of self-protection. He must have skill in both physical and mental activities. He's usually slightly bigger or stronger than the average, and has a friendly attitude, an outgoing personality.
I'm a motherfucking ninja.
Okay, so I finally found something that I need to work on. I need to increase the volume of that bass. So let's see, where is it at? So I think even if I just did it up by one, maybe. Let's see what's going on in here. We got multiband dynamics, EQ. Yeah, so let's just do 11 on that. Okay, let's see how that sounds. Oops. Let's see how that sounds on monitors.
motherfucking ninja. I'm a motherfucking ninja. I'm a motherfucking ninja.
I could probably do the same for I could probably do the same for everything else then here.
I'm a motherfucking ninja. I'm a motherfucking ninja. I'm a motherfucking ninja. I'm a motherfucking ninja. I'm a motherfucking ninja.
Okay, cool. So now those should sound a little bit better. A little bit more even with the drums. They're kind of hidden behind beforehand. Okay, let's see. Where was I? I was around here, I think. I think I could probably raise up that kick, that snare.
I'm a motherfucking ninja.
Okay, so that claps loud enough.
I'm a motherfucking ninja.
Ceiling, that's not right.
I'm a motherfucking ninja.
So let's set it 9. So we need to set this at -9. Actually give it a ceiling. And let's do this at like -9.
I'm a motherfucking ninja. I'm a motherfucking ninja.
It's not really doing much, so let's do it here.
I'm a motherfucking ninja.
Shouts out, I see I got some people watching. Thanks for tuning in.
There are spurts of mental energy as well as physical, and at other times, nothing seems to be happening. Mental, physical. There are spurts of mental energy as well as physical, and at other times, nothing seems to be happening. Mental, physical.
I'm a motherfucking.
Yeah, I gotta hear that. I gotta hear that yoy part again. The wop wop yoy. Let's see. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Okay. So I am going to port this out and into a master. or a pre-master, and then we'll do some mastering on it. So first off, let's save it. This might take a while to send it off, get it rendered and everything. So if you have any questions, hit me up in the chat. Otherwise, I'll just kind of ramble about something, I'm sure. Yes, so far I think this has gone pretty well. This is my first attempt at bass house, and I think so far it's gone pretty well. Referencing it to a bass house track from Mad Decent, it's definitely not Mad Decent, but that might be due to the mastering. But it sounded pretty good. Let's make sure everything is nothing soloed, everything's on. Okay, good. Everything's on. That's all on. That turns on and off, I think, as needed. Effects. Let's shrink that. Okay, yeah, I think I'm good. And mix bus, nothing's goofy here, right? Cool. Okay, let's get this thing bounced. Save it since I made all those changes to it. Okay. So we're gonna export it. I always like to give myself a little bit more breathing room, so let's do 130 on this. We're gonna render it into my Ableton project. I might actually have it, yeah, full renders. Yeah, actually that's perfect. Okay, and while that renders, let's do this. Actually, this. And then we're gonna open up. We're going to open up a plugin. What's it called? What am I thinking of? Oh, yeah. So I could master in Ableton, and I've done it before, but oops. But I'm gonna use Ozone. I like it. It works. It's got everything. It's got everything kind of solidified into one area, which is really nice. Well, Ableton eventually, I know myself, and eventually I'm probably gonna want to make like an Ozone duplicate based on what I find in Ableton, like a rack or something, an Ozone style rack. But until then, I'm gonna keep using Ozone because it's good. I just gotta figure out where the heck I put it. I had it open yesterday. Okay, we'll take this off. Okay, so an isotope. Bear with me while I kind of struggle to find where the heck I put this. let's do it like this. Let's do isotope. Okay, I may have found it. Okay, cool. I knew it was in here somewhere. So we're going to create a shortcut of that, and we're going to toss that on my desktop. So next time, I'll be able to find it. And let's see. I'm not sure how this is going to work. It might be too insensitive to have these both open at the same time, but we'll see. Oh, wrong one. Okay, let's make sure everything rendered well here. And first off, let's turn down the volume so it doesn't blow my ears out. Yours either.
Mental energy. There are spurts of mental energy. There are spurts of mental energy. There are spurts of mental energy. At other times, nothing.
I'm a motherfucking ninja.
Okay, so the first things I'm noticing is that we got a sausage here, so that means I did some nice compression on it. Oh, have some more people. How's it going, guys? You type in the chat, I'll shut you out. Yeah, so we have a nice sausage here. So there's some good compression, good limiting. That's what you typically want to see with a nice track. But then I also see there's a lot of room for expansion. So I may need to rebounce out everything and do a gain on it. And then we also see that, you know, before the drop, here's the drops, but before the drop it's a little smaller than at the drop, which is also what I want to see. The drop should be the loudest, most compressed part of the track, at least with what I'm making.
Or stronger than the average, and has a
Okay, so let's get to work. So first thing you're gonna want to do is get rid of some low. Anything below 20 or 30 is usually not really necessary. You do a pretty aggressive slope on that too, so it's just kind of hitting a brick wall. Okay, and then we'll do the same in the high. We'll get rid of, oops, let's flip that around. There we go. We're gonna do the same for the high. We're gonna get rid of what we don't need. Not up, that's a little too high though, so around, you know, maybe around the 19 to 20. That's noise that most people can't hear. You're gonna boost your highs a little bit, which I already kind of have here. You can see the high shelf is there. Okay, and there's usually mud somewhere around here. Isn't there a way to solo it? I can't remember. Oh yeah, obviously just turn off. Okay, and that should be good. I don't want to mess with it too much since I already kind of know what I want. I already kind of had everything where I wanted it before. Okay, so let's move on to the dynamics. Okay, so let's set everything where I want them. We'll do all. So this range I'm going to put this at, you know, maybe more like 200. And let's see. Okay, so that's my pop. So now that's good. Ratio, probably don't need anything that high. Compression ratio, actually that compression ratio is fine. Maybe we'll bring up the attack a little bit so it's a little so it's not as aggressive on it. So let's do 40. Now what I'm going to be doing here is I'm pretty much just making room. There we go. So I'm just going to be making some room for the limiting, which I already have quite a bit of room, but why not? So pulling down the lows, these mid basses you could also pull down quite a bit easily. And then usually the 2K to 10K range, you don't need to do too much to. Usually that's okay, and it sounds nice. And then here we'll pull this down similar to the lows, the sub. Okay, so let's before and after this. So I can hear it's a little muddy, so it was a little muddy. So let's pull that up because I still want. Yeah, so before there's a lot of mud. Okay, let's mono check it too.
Be bigger or stronger than the average, and has a friendly attitude, an outgoing personality. This is a common method of self-protection. He must have skill in both physical and mental activities. He's usually slightly bigger.
Okay, cool. My mono is all good, which I expected because I've been checking that for a while now. Okay, so let's move on to the exciter. Okay, so I like to crank the amount up and mess with the mix. Triode's fine. So that just adds some distortion in that low end. So not much, but just a little bit on it. Too much distorts it. Just a little bit brings out kind of the harmonics and helps it pop through. Same there too. Be careful with that range, but a little bit could do a lot of good. Okay, and then when this is really going to pay off is going to be up here in the 10K plus range. So it just kind of makes it sound really nice, punchy, and crispy. So this just adds some excitement, like it's called the exciter. Okay, imager, check it out my stereo. I'm probably gonna need to add quite a bit of this because I think that's where I'm lacking is stereo. Okay, so key thing though, let's change this. Let's do this to like what, 200 we'll say. This is gonna go all the way down to 0. We want this all in mono and maybe 150. Cool. This we could do similar. We're not completely, but a little bit more. Okay, and the highs is where we want to start getting our stereo, and let's see where that was at. So this is kind of an experiment here because I'm not sure how much that's gonna do. Okay, now we really want to crank that stereo up in this 10 plus range. Okay, and let's see what we have. So here's before. It's kind of muddy, not as punchy. And here's after. It's kind of brightened up. It's got some more punch. It's not as muddy. Okay, and we haven't peaked. I haven't been checking these, but yeah, haven't peaked over the level, over 1, which is great. My RMS is like 20. If I can get that to maybe 12 to 8, that would be awesome. We'll see. We'll see. That's kind of a perceived volume. Okay, and now here's what everyone gets excited about, making stuff louder. So I'm going to turn down my headphones so I don't blow my ears out. And actually, before I do that, I'm going to listen to this master on on both speakers, so you'll get some echo. We're gonna calm out that compression a little bit. Okay, and then here's bypassing it. Yeah, so I have a lot of thump, like the kick and the snare are really prominent in the pre-master, which is good, but they are almost kind of drowning out the rest of the stuff. So, you know, this compression has helped to kind of close that gap a little bit. And it sounds duller too, without the exciter, the imager. Okay, and let's check on monitors. Oop, wrong one. Let's try that one. Okay, so now for the magic sauce maximizer. Okay, I set this to 1.5. That actually gives me some room when you convert to MP3. If you don't have a big enough ceiling, you can get some artifact, and it'll mess with your sound. So something like 1 to 1.3. Actually, let's do -1. Typically, people would say you do 0.01, 0.03. I'm not going to do that though. Yeah, we'll go with IRC1. Okay, now let's just limit and see what we get.
Mental.
I might want a little bit more smooth.
Mental. There are spurts of mental energy as well as physical, and at other times, nothing seems to be happening. Mental, physical, There are spurts of mental energy as well as physical. And at other times, nothing seems to be happening. Mental, physical.
I'm a motherfucking ninja. I'm a motherfucking ninja.
Okay, I think I'm crushing it just a little too hard. Maybe I could go with like a -10.
Mental,
I'm a motherfucking ninja. I'm a motherfucking ninja.
he must have skill in both physical and mental activities. He's usually slightly bigger.
Okay, we're going to bring down this a little bit because that pop of that snare is really cutting through everything, which is fine, but we could calm it down.
I'm a motherfucking ninja.
He must have skill in both physical and mental activities. He's usually slightly bigger or stronger than the average and has a friendly attitude, an outgoing personality. This is a common method of self-protection. He must have skill in both physical and mental activities. He's usually slightly bigger or stronger than the average and has a friendly attitude, an outgoing personality.
I'm a motherfucking ninja.
Okay, let's bypass all this and see what the difference is.
I'm a motherfucking ninja.
Okay, so I'd say that's pretty good. So let's export it. Actually, let's save the project. Dig through. Oops, this is actually, I think, supposed to go in splice. Yeah, there we go. Originals. The Ninja Ozone. This is the first time I've used the separate Ozone plugin. I kind of like it. It's a lot easier on my laptop. Okay, and let's export the audio files. That's fine. I don't need to worry about that. So export it. Might take a while. So I'm trying to figure out what track to work on next. I have a drum and bass in the works, kind of like a drum and bass slash drum step track. I think that would be a lot of fun to work on. I also have a bunch of halfway finished projects. I have a Fly Me to the Moon remix that's pretty old, but has some interesting ideas on it. But I think I might work on that drum step track, because the drum and bass drum step, because I haven't really worked with that genre before, and kind of like this bass house. I like working on new stuff. I like a challenge. I'll tell you if I'm gonna bounce out of the chat, because my tablet's dying on me, so it's likely I'm gonna be out of the chat pretty soon. So then I might as well, if that just I'll just end, because I think there's not much left I could do with 10 minutes. So we'll just finish this master, bounce it out to an MP3, and then I'm gonna upload it privately to SoundCloud. That way I could listen to it and send it to other people. And I'm probably going to send this into the Redline Reload demo listen. If you haven't already, go check out redlinereload.com. I'm doing my show on our network, and we have a lot of other cool shows to check out too. We have live DJ mixes, live production like what I'm doing. We also have a demo listen show, which is this Thursday. And we have even more coming. So great for producers, great for anyone interested in electronic music. Okay, so it just rendered. So let's go bounce that to MP3. But before I do that, actually let's collect and save my main track. If you're using Ableton, don't forget to collect and save. That is crucial. That way everything's there. You don't lose it. It's just all in the Ableton package. Okay, so let's open up Audacity. Let's bring in that track I just did. Documents, splice. There. Okay, and let's see how badly I slammed this thing. It's pretty slammed.
Energy. There are spurts of mental energy. Spurts of mental energy, as well as...
I'm a motherfucking ninja.
Okay. So I usually don't slam them that hard, but we'll see what other people say when I submit it for the demo listen. Maybe it sounds good, maybe I overdid it. Okay, so we are going to put an WIP on there, .mp3, and this will probably end up being the finished track, unless when I send it out to other people they say, oh man, this stinks, you need to change certain things. But this is probably going to eventually be the finished piece. Don't forget to name everything. if you don't name all your tracks well, and it gets in the name of, actually, and we're gonna call this Wh1tcomb Ninja, because if it gets in the wrong hands, or if it gets in the right hands and there's no information on it, that's not good. So always make sure you have as much information as possible in your track description. And all these, we're gonna call this bass. Ass house, yeah, yummy. Bass house, great. It's a bombshell. We'll do that. Okay. I always do 320 kps, kbps. Might as well get as high as you can with your kilobits per second. Give people the finest listening quality they can enjoy. Okay, so let's see how that went. Don't need to save that because that's not worth it. Add a new audio track in, we'll drag it in, take a look at it, and then I am done for the day. Interesting. I don't think it went to the right spot. Yeah, that's supposed to go in here. Yeah, oops. Okay, so that's the most recent whip. Solo it. Something tells me it's just going to be this nasty sausage, like I just destroyed the track. Yeah, that's pretty sausagey, but let's see, what does it sound like? Oh, it's trying to warp it. We don't want that.
Mental energy. There are spurts of mental energy. There are spurts of mental. There are spurts of mental energy as well as physical. And at other times, nothing. Mental, physical. Physical.
I'm a motherfucking ninja.
Yeah, so I already tell I put way too much stereo in there.
Physical.
I'm a motherfucking ninja.
Okay, so yeah, I effectively destroyed pieces of the track, which I thought would happen. So too much stereo, too limited, or what I'm initially noticing. Oh, you know what? Maybe that's not the case. I had Yeah, because that's the side. That's way too much side. Yeah, the mid's fine, just the side's way too much. Shit, even that sounds better. I pulled out like 10 decibels from the side. So yeah, I'll have to change that. Okay, well, that's all I have for today. I'll probably change the side and adjust the limiting off stream. So I'll be back Friday, 6:30 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. Central Standard Time on redlinereload.com. And I'm not sure what I'll be doing yet. Maybe I'll be working on that drum and bass track. Maybe I'll be doing some basses, but I'll be doing something different than this track. So without further, thanks for tuning in, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.